Hi there, this is a demonstration of how to use OpenLP, which is the projection software that we use for displaying songs and Bible readings and images and all the rest of it in our services. So I'm assuming that you have managed to turn the projector on, or it's on already. If you haven't done that, you turn the projector on at the wall just near the pulpit, and then you use the remote to switch the actual machine on. And then you come upstairs. The projector needs to go on before the computer does. So once you've turned the projector on, come upstairs, you can turn the computer on. It'll also turn the sound desk on. And then as soon as you start the computer up, OpenLP should automatically open. If for some reason OpenLP isn't running, that's the icon you're looking for there, that blue and white one. And you can click on that, and this is the screen that should open for you. First thing you're going to do is make sure that you have the right service up on the screen before you, and you can see that we use a naming convention for the services. So this is the service from the 26th of the 3rd, 23, and it's the 7:30 service. So you make sure that you have the right service for the one that you're operating at. And then the next thing you do is go to this top item here in the set. On the right hand side of the screen, these are all the set items for that service. You go to the first one and you can double click it. And that screen there, the bottom one, will show you what's presently being displayed on the big screen. You should be able to confirm it yourself, but that's what that pane there is for. And I think this is for either the next slide or the previous one or something like that. If you open up the welcome loop, you'll see inside are a whole series of images. Those are the adverts that we play before the service, the slides that just cycle before the service begins. So what you're going to do is, once you've started up that welcome loop, the first slide only will be displaying, but you want to cycle it through all the images. So you go down here, and that little drop box there next to that box says 5 seconds. It probably should say 10 seconds. I'm not sure what the computer on the church is set for. But that little box on the left of it, that drop down, if you click there, there's an option to play slides in loop. And if you click that, then the slides will start cycling. And so you can leave the computer like that for now until the service is ready to begin, and those adverts will play on the screen. You can see the first 10 seconds has elapsed and the next slide is up there. So leave that on. And then if you're at the 9 o'clock service, you're going to need to start thinking about the stream 5 minutes before the service. And there's a separate video that you can watch to see how streaming works. But basically, you're going to start the stream at 5 minutes to 9. And then you're going to move the camera onto the pulpit. You're going to start the welcome loop and then move the camera onto the pulpit when the service is about to start. But watch that other video for more details about streaming. So assuming the service is about to begin and the preacher or the society steward is coming out to welcome people, or whatever is about to happen, as the service is about to begin, you can blank the screen, turn the adverts off so people aren't watching them while the service is going. So you click that little black icon over there and you'll see the screen goes blank. And then you wait to hear what is going to be happening next. And the preacher might say, we're going to sing our first song. And so you look down the set list and see what comes next. You should also have a printout of an order of service that should tell you the flow of things that are going to happen. But if we're going to sing that first song and the first song is announced, you can double click on the song, and you'll see all the verses of the hymn come up there, but the screen is still black because it's been blanked out. So when you're ready to display the verse that is highlighted, you unblank, and there we go. Up comes the first verse. And if you click down using the mouse, you can move to the next verse. You can also use the arrow keys on the keyboard, up and down. You work your way through the song. And a very important tip, if you don't want to have the whole congregation turn around and stare at you when the wrong words are up on the screen, or you've forgotten to change the slide, the most important thing you must do is remember to sing along. Even if you just sing very softly or you just mime the words, your singing along will make sure that when you get to the end of reading a slide, you will know instinctively when to change to the next slide, and you won't be left behind. Another trick is to bear in mind that you don't change the slide once people have sung the last word of the previous slide. You give them time enough to read, and probably as they're singing about there, they've already read the whole line, and that's the time when you change, so that they have a chance to read the first few words of the next slide before they have to start singing again. So that's basically it for displaying a song. When the song is finished, you can blank it again. You can move to the next thing. In this case, it's going to be the Lord's Prayer, which is also just like a song. And as the person is leading the prayer, you work your way through the slide. After that, again, we can blank it. Make sure that you press the blank button each time. These other two do very different things. This one will blank to theme, which means it'll show the theme of the slide, but not the words, like that. Because this current slide has that theme and those words. So if you blank to theme, it just leaves the image up and takes the words off. If you click that one, it'll show the desktop. In other words, it'll show what's behind the screen, and you don't want to do that. So really the one you want to be using is the black one. And if by mistake you click one of the others, click it again to unset it, and then use the black one. So we get to the end of the Lord's Prayer, then a reading is announced, very similar, and again, show the screen, move through as the reader is going, and blank at the end. Sometimes in a sermon, the preacher will ask for an image to be put up on the screen, and there you can see an image. You can tell because it's usually just a file name. It could have been changed to something else, but here we can see companions.png. So you can get the image ready and blank out, and there you go. There's a quote that's been used in a message. Occasionally there will be video clips that are going to be displayed in the service. And here's a video clip, MP4. So again, the preacher will say, we're now going to listen to a video clip, and all you do there is double click it. So that'll start the thing playing. You can't actually see what's going on. It's actually on the display screen, and the preview screen doesn't display video, but the video was playing there. And you can stop, or you can press play again. Now the video is a short clip, the video is playing, it gets to the end, and there we go. It's as simple as that. There we have another hymn going on there. There we go, another hymn. And if we unblank it, you can see the words up on the screen. Another thing to remember about videos is that if you try and double click a video and the screen is still blanked, you're going to have a problem. So it needs to be unblanked before it'll play. Last thing I want to show you is this hymn. We haven't done this for a long time, so it's very unusual to do this, but occasionally we won't have a pianist. And so some of the hymns we have MP3 music in the background, and I think this is one that has that. It does, so I'm not sure why it's not available to play. There is the mechanism where you can actually play the MP3 music in the background. For some reason, it's not displaying in this one, so I think we'll just leave that for now. But there is the possibility, sometimes some hymns, when you display them, up will come a little MP3 player here, and when you press play, it'll play the background music. For some reason, it's not working on this one, but don't worry about that. We haven't used that for months. So that is it. I think that's all that you need to know for displaying. I'll show you one last thing. This is assuming that the set is all perfectly done. If you get a little more sneaky, you can edit the set and you can move things around. You can add new items. So I'm just going to show you, give you a brief glimpse into that. You're looking at the live view at the moment. So the mode we're in is view mode live. If we go to setup, then you'll see all the items that we can add to the set. You can go and find a song and you can drag it into the set. You can add a Bible verse, and you can add an image, and you can add some media. You can add custom slides, which are like liturgy. So it is possible, if there's a problem, to go into setup mode, to fetch what you need, drag it into the set and display it. But invariably the set's going to be perfect, and you don't have to worry about that. So that's just for you to know. But I think that's it. Thank you very much for helping us with this, and all the best with OpenLP.